ride today that he showed me. It's pretty cool. I still need my license, unfortunately. But we'll get there, we'll get there. Anywho, we only got one react today, and it's going to be from someone in our community, funny enough. From Wiz. That guy's like an absolute genius when it comes to this sort of stuff, trust me. Absolute genius. Okay, okay. Let me see. How do I open this thing? Brave audio? It's about natural gas. Not much I do know. Okay. You know what? This is like good enough. Who sent me a message? Hold on. Someone sent me a ping. I have to look at it. Okay, I'm back. Let's play. This one is from the Derpy Redneck. I have subscribed to him, right? Actually, have I? Hold on, full screen. Yes, yes I have. Okay. Pog. Okay, goodness, that was too loud. Hold on. Hey, thank you so much for the subscription, Malto. I appreciate it, man. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Alright, let's see what Wazes get for us. The Derpy Redneck.
What's up, guys? Western Playboy Savage. Today I'm going to talk about why.
Okay, like the voice is so much softer than the actual intro. Hold on, let me put my volume back up here. There we go. Volume's back up. Your new mic is rough. Define rough. Like, the audio quality is terrible? Oh. Blame Asunder Cobra. This is like the most Chinese of all headphones, man. The most Chinese. Yeah, it's not great. Hold up. Let me see if I can do some wizardry. Sound. There's something that I can do to fix it. Give me a sec. Give me a sec. It won't be perfect, but it'll be close to usable levels. Okay, we'll put it at 40. Okay, and then in OBS we'll just pull that max out. There we go. How does that sound? Is that any better? Hello? Aloha? Someone let me know if the mic quality is better. Because, well, I can only hear my voice, which sounds always terrible. Now you sound too loud, too loud. Okay, hold up, too loud. How's this? Is this better? Or is it still too loud? Is this better? I mean, I hope so. If it's not, well, maybe a little bit softer. There, how's that? Oi, Noto, is it better? Hello? Is it better? You're gonna have to order another mic. Well, it came with the headset, so like, there's nothing I can do. Alright, let me see if I can make it slightly better. Okay, let's go to System, Sound Control Panel, Recording, Sounds, nope. Where's mic? Where's mic? Hello? Where's microphone? Recording, there we go. Listen levels. We'll put it on like 20, honestly. And then, where's the one you're using before? It's attached to my other headset that's broken. That's what happened to it. There's nothing I can do if the microphone's attached to the headphones and the headphones are broken. Excuse me. Oof. Yeah, big oof. Oh well, I guess you guys are just gonna have to deal with it. I will try and save up for a better microphone. But yeah, at least my headphones work now, so that's good, that's good. Is the sound quality any better? I hope so. If not, oh well. I quite literally just went to my sound settings and I turned the volume down to 20%, and then I boosted the volume in OBS. It used to work for my other mic, um, but it seems that this one is even lesser quality. It's better now, but you quiet. Hold up one sec. How about now? Okay, maybe not too much. How's that? How's that? Huh? Are we good? Technical difficulties. Be like, good? Oh, sweet. Okay, let's carry on. Let's carry on.
What would be beneficial if we all use natural gas to fuel airplanes?
For those of you who don't know what natural gas is, it's not a fart, okay? You cannot, you know, toot your tooter and fly your pooper shooter. I don't know.
Here are the main benefits.
Hold on, actually, I want to see something. Okay, I'm not blocking him. Okay, that's good.
Number one, natural gas will go farther than jet fuel in the same turbines if they're done right. Not even including the use of alcohol water injection to boost thrust and control emissions during takeoff or during mid-flight. Two,
Okay.
natural gas in a liquid form has a lot of safety features that can be used for it to make it much safer than most liquid fuels, including manipulating LNG's properties to our advantage. Let me show you why in this
I actually don't know what that is, but I'm following along with what he's saying.
clip right here.
Unless trapped
Okay, that transition was pretty hard. Props to the Derpy Redneck. That was
within
cool.
a confined space, the burning will not create an overpressure or explosion, and LNG terminals do not create confined space.
Oh, that's pretty neat. I
Another
didn't even know
safety
that.
feature is that LNG by itself does not burn. The vapors will burn only when mixed with air, and then only with a lazy flame. A lazy flame means that LNG burns more like a candle than a blaze. This is different from other gas fuels such as propane and gasoline, which
Yeah, I know. If you pop some gasoline or some propane, off goes kaboom.
are highly flammable. As LNG mixes with more air, the mixture becomes too lean to burn.
Well, that was pretty educational, wasn't it?
That was.
Now
We
to
did learn something.
go ahead and do this other shit and get this out of my way.
He has the
Continuing on.
funniest expressions.
You see the implications of how safe liquefied natural gas and biomethane would be. Since I just gave you a spoiler, we'll get to that soon. Why
Okay.
I mention it. Number three, the jet fuel that we
Wait, we're on three? I thought we were only on two. Okay, never mind,
currently
never mind.
use can have its components of naphtha, heavy naphtha, and kerosene separated out. The light naphtha, that's number four, benefit number four, the light naphtha can be used to extend gasoline supplies. It'd be a gasoline additive. Five, the heavy naphtha can be hydrogenated or hydrotreated, as it's also called in this particular case, to remove the nitrogen containing molecules, remove the sulfur, and lower the aromatics. The kerosene fraction can be done the same as the heavy naphtha in benefit number five. Number seven, kerosene and heavy naphtha can be used as additives to blend with diesel fuel to make it better for cold weather.
I actually didn't even know that was a thing. I don't know you could add that to diesel to make it better. Oh, I guess you do learn something new every day.
Especially after hydrotreating those have kerosene, heavy naphtha, and the diesel for sulfur compounds to get rid of what little sulfur it has left and lower the aromatics. And this has been done and it can be done again and it can be used for everywhere. 8. From the reasons I've listed already, emissions will bottom out to practically nothing compared to what they are now. 9. Diesel fuel supplies will dramatically go up. They'll be drastically extended.
Okay.
Not even factoring everything I said about biodiesel as an additive in my Clean Earth Market Style episode 3 or the first 3/4 of episode 4 when I went into
Wait, this guy's got several episodes? I need to start watching more of his content. We need to get
rehashing
enlightened.
what it would take to adopt more biodiesel across the board, the infrastructure changes needed, and then finally getting to what to do with all that glycerin, make biopropane out of glycerin.
I didn't actually know you can make biopropane out of glycerin. Like, sure, I've worked with glycerin in quotation marks. You know, it was a fun time back in high school. We got our hands on all sorts of cool stuff. My favorite thing learning in physics in high school was quite literally explosions. So we had propane, we had butane, we had what was the other thing that they called? Hydroxy. which is basically just hydrogen and oxygen gas in basically the same container. It's not like a compound. It's just like a gas mixture, which explodes pretty wildly. I liked it. It's my favorite little mixture of gases. Goes boom. If I'm not mistaken, rockets also use, well, not hydroxy, but they do have separate tanks for hydrogen and oxygen, if I'm not mistaken. And if memory serves me well, hydrogen also has the fastest combustion speed in the universe because, hydrogen
Although they
atoms.
would just add to this the emission lowering and engine life extension and fuel supply
And the byproduct is water, so it's pretty cool.
is going further. Anyhow, 10 emissions will go down across the board, as I've already emphasized in reason 8. But performances can be made to go up, and hey, the air will be so much nicer because of all the previous reasons benefits I just mentioned.
Oh, yeah, speaking of air, he actually mentioned that he can debunk the entire chemtrails thing, and that's something that I'm really waiting on. I don't know if he covers it in any of his videos, but if you can tell me that in DMs, I'd be more than happy to listen to him, because I've heard a lot of controversy, just a lot of different opinions about what those actually are. Maybe he's got a pretty unique angle on it. Who knows? I'd be keen to hear him out.
I don't know about you, but I hate the smell of sulfurous exhaust. I don't need any.
I just don't like exhaust fumes in general. Maybe it's me. Like most people, when you go to the gas station or petrol stations, they call them here, you take a nice whiff, and most people look like they're about to get high, and they're like, "Yeah, we like it." And then you get other people. Well, obviously, it depends on the type of fume. They just don't like it. I don't like any of them, like whatsoever. Unless it smells like air, I don't like it.
Chemtrail conspiracy
I don't even like smoke from burning wood.
hypotheses when
Oh, look, here he is. He mentions the chemtrails.
when the exhaust pollution out of a jet fuel's chemtrail. I'm sorry, out of a jet fuel's combustion is a chemtrail in and of itself. Okay, due to all the poisonous nonsense that the exhaust contains.
Yeah, the government's not actually poisoning the air. It's just a byproduct of how the engine works, guys. That was a result of the chemtrails. Hope you're taking notes, Malto. You know what I just realized? Derpy Redneck here has got the exact same eyebrows as my older brother. Like the thing he does, that he pulls those exact same expressions. And he's also pretty into the whole technical know-how, just a lot of different mechanics.
Go to a DM to unpack why I mentioned the chemtrail bit.
I wonder if he's opening up my DMs.
Just a second. Here we go. Like I said, I would consider the toxicity of jet fuel exhaust to be a chemtrail on its own. No need for conspiracy hypotheses. None of that. Because, for one, chemtrails a conspiracy hypothesis that is chemtrails is conspiracy jargon is a hypothesis that's been peddled for decades.
It
The
has been
problems
around for a long
are
time.
the economics and tech needed for the infrastructure to carry the aerosol. That's going to put extra weight on the aerosol making fluids and such in tanks. You're not going to hide that. The tech needed to shield the lines and the tungsten carbide to coat over the nozzles to spray aerosol into the exhaust is not going to be hidden. It will be noticeable.
It is on this point. I think it'll just be far too expensive of a venture to even go about doing it like this. Like if you wanted to pop chemicals all over your country, I'm pretty sure there are far cheaper ways, like just putting it into the natural water supply. You can probably hide it a whole lot better than, inside of an airplane. People can look up and see all the fumes coming down, or just, looking at the airplane itself. It's probably a whole lot cheaper too, because I mean, you've got basically existing infrastructure that you can just rig something to, pour some chemicals in. You can probably add it to other places, like, into the stuff that you put on your food produce, etc., etc. So I think it's just not worth the cost, in my humble opinion. Now, whether or not they're actually doing it, well, that's another question. And the question that also gets raised is, are they doing it intentionally? Again, also, I have no idea.
There are also physics, fluid dynamics, thermodynamics, kinetics, combustion dynamics, son of a bitch, and all sorts of other
Not that type of combustion, Multimancer.
factors in physics and chemistry that go into the making of the thrust to propel the turbines and henceforth propel the planes themselves. You could
I actually know a little bit about this, funny enough. And I remember in high school, combust, no. In high school, one of the first things that we did, don't tell anybody, but we made a miniature jet engine with hydroxy um, that we used from an electrolyzer, which we basically just broke down distilled water into, not distilled water, I think it was just, I'm not even sure where we got the water from, if I'm being honest. But I know we had water, and then we got a whole bunch of electroplates. We tied it up to a battery. We got, I think it was like 2.3 volts or something. We electrolyzed that. We got out some oxygen, hydrogen. We fed that into what it was essentially a small tin can of Coke. And then, made propel and everything. We made ourselves a miniature little jet engine. It was quite fun.
ever so easily fuck up or even foobar without much effort due to the expansion of said aerosols and stuff like that. Messing with, very easily, mind you, messing with the expansion of the exhaust. That's how very minimally likely that shit is. And the worst that'll come to shove is it gets exposed and everybody gets gaslit into being lumped in with the actual conspiratards that are out there.
There's a lot of conspirators out there.
Go look up my damn video where I bust conspiracy theory hypotheses. The guideline that comes straight out of the book Cold Case for Christianity, how to actually address that, and which is also a response to my 2 cents video where he fucked up drastically by saying the 6 criteria were 3, then added a 7th criteria which invokes Occam's and Hanlon's razors.
Okay, I know about Occam's razor, which I think it's the simplest explanation is often the correct one. I don't know about Hamlin's razor. I'll have to ask him about that later.
As a final shit test. And then after that, I cussed and trolled the FUDs, because of course I did.
As is usual.
So check that out down below if you want to see why. In this, so it's not likely. It's not fucking likely. Now.
Oh, part 2.
Now on to 11. We could use more widespread biomethane production by converting shit and piss slurry lakes from feedlots into biomethane digesters. 12.
Okay, I don't know what a feedlot is, but okay. If you can just use that as access to make that, then that's cool. Never attribute to malice that which is adequately explained by stupidity. Hanlon's razor. Oh. You know what? That is a really good razor right there. I feel like that can be applied to so many situations. It's not even funny. Like, what's a good example? You want a really good example. So you know how in America you've got all these conspiracy theories about the government's out to get you? Well, we sort of have a similar thing down here, but instead of like, malice against the populace, it's largely just stupidity. Like, our government is made up of like 60 IQ boomer retards, and everybody knows it. Like, their maliciousness is far outweighed by their incompetence.
We can use biomethane digesting as an additional step to wastewater treatment, then gasify the sludge to make, or the remnants of that liquid, whatever the fuck's left of that horror. And you make
I wonder actually where you can even get biomethane from. Besides cows. I know you can get methane from cows.
slag for road repair.
I remember in like science class they had like a whole section, about global warming, about how the cows farting are making the earth warm up, and apparently they're releasing X many amounts of methane.
With hydrogen and carbon monoxide turned into synthetic natural gas. Hell, that same infrastructure, I'm just going to jump to reason 17 so I can skip over when I get to it. You can use the same tech to make synthetic diesel, synthetic kerosene, synthetic heavy naphtha, to be used together for diesel fuel supply extension even further, and natural gas and biomethane supply extensions out the wazoo. Okay, that is big. All right, now yeah, this leftover slag, if you use a plasma arc, can be used for road repair, maintenance, and all that stuff.
Okay, road repair is definitely an interesting application of this. I mean, who would have thought that using natural gas for airplanes could have had, such repercussions that it affected even simple industries like road repair? Hmm,
And if you want to know
very
something
insightful.
about plasma arcs that I
I know a little bit, like basic
learned
knowledge.
from Paul Mario Babcock, and everyone can recreate with whatever they have on hand and actually write the means down. Check this
Well, I hope he releases the plasma arc files. I want to take a peep
clip
at this.
out.
Oh, hold up. He's gonna do the snap. No, he disappeared. Where'd his hairline go?
See that?
Hold up. This is a simple electric circuit used to compare the energy effect of two electrical bodies of equal electrical resistance, one body being magnetic, and the other being non-magnetic. Alright. Oh yeah, speaking of the ohms, again, so much stuff happened back in high school. The top physics students, when we first learned about Ohm's law, he would like sit in like a meditating position and he would go, Ohm's law, Ohm. And whenever you try to interact with him or just like ask him any sort of question, he would just say louder. So it'd be like, excuse me, what is the answer to? And we're like, Ohm's law. Okay, yeah, but I really need to know Ohm's law. It was a whole thing. It was pretty hilarious. Absolutely W. I wonder where he's apparently went and studied electrical engineering, so he's doing pretty well for himself.
Oh, this is a screenshot of an experiment done on magnetic energy secrets by Paul Mario Babcock.
Paul Maria Bab what? Not judging, but just what?
Any fucking body could replicate this. It's a simple circuit.
Well, unfortunately, that does not apply to me because I live in South Africa. You see, getting reliable electricity is a bit of a pipe dream here. But I'm sure in other parts of the world you can, it's more than readily available for anyone who would care to try their hand at this technology.
To use to compare the energy of expression effect of two electrical bodies of equal resistance, one body being a coil and the other being a resistor. And
I mean, it's probably something I can build myself at home. Just probably need to find an exterior power source though. Who knows? Something either might blow up or I just don't have electricity at that time. You never know.
speaking of that whole plasma arc for plasma CO2 dry reforming, here's this one. This was a 4 Henry 40 ohm solenoid coil, and it was gas. It had might have had a little air in it.
Wait, how is it a carbon-free steel core? Doesn't steel need carbon?
But the pellets were as a core constructed of.
Okay, maybe they got silicon or some other thing in there. Or maybe it's just an alloy of other metals. I actually don't know.
Pelletized carbon-free steel, and the pellets are coated with acrylic. And what happened then? He took input power, and used 40 ohm resistor, made a nice little arc.
I wonder if it needs to be 40 ohms specifically. Because I don't think I have a 40 ohm resistor. I got a couple of other resistors lying around. Maybe I could just, stack them all in series and hope I get 40 ohms out of it.
Then what he did was he swapped the resistor out with a coil of the same resistance, so using the same 360 watts, and look how much more intense the plasma arc got. That's got me thinking about some things we could try.
That's like 5 times brighter. Please tell me he shows us a cool video of someone trying it. Is he gonna do the snap?
See, that was that was a clip I had from my critiquing the fossil fuel video by John Stossel and adding some points that were left out that I think were very important. And also because landfills, burying them is a waste of resources for hydrogen and carbon, burying landfills. It's the big J.
That caught me off guard, not gonna lie. It's the
Don't like
big
that.
gang.
Screw off. But yeah, 13.
Alright, let's go. 13
Investing
reasons
in
why.
international economies would deflate for the better. And because there's more stuff to go around, more fuel to go around. And
You hear that, guys? Biden inflation will finally be defeated with this new upcoming technology, courtesy of the Derpy Redneck.
that counters the inflationary signal of dollar signs and their equivalents all over, by central banks everywhere.
I can also do the eyebrow thing.
And the signal strengths of various assets and their powers as assets in the economies would go up. That would ripple out everywhere. And if you want to know the biggest issue with central banking, it's not hard to understand. Here's a
Oh yeah. This reminds of the meme that I sent to the Discord recently, where it's like, Jesus discovers, these thieves, murderers, and prostitutes. He's like, oh, yay, come to me, O sinner. And then he meets some bankers. He pulls out the whip. The European Parliament. Oh, I already know it's cooked if it's the European Parliament. Alright, May 2013, Banking Union, Single Supervisory Oh no. I can already tell this is going to be bad.
For the EFT, Mr. Bloom has 2 minutes.
Commissioner, Mr. President, I rise again, I'm afraid, to make the same old hoary speech that I've been making here for several years, and that is,
He has a big nose.
it is my opinion that you do not really understand the concept of banking. All the banks are broke. Bank Santander, Deutsche Bank, Royal Bank of Scotland, they're all broke. And why are they broke? It isn't an act of God. It isn't some sort of tsunami. They're broke because we have a system called fractional reserve banking, which means that banks can lend money that they don't actually have. It's a criminal scandal, and it's been going on for too long.
I agree with him. You shouldn't be able to lend money you don't have.
To add to that problem, you have moral hazard, a very significant moral hazard from the political sphere. And most of the problem starts in politics and central banks, which are part of the same political system. We have counterfeiting, sometimes called quantitative easing, but counterfeiting by any other name. The
Rose by any other name, it's still a rose, boys. It's still counterfeiting.
artificial printing of money, which if any ordinary person did, they'd go to prison for a very long time.
Have you guys ever seen the meme of the FBI agents with the money printer? Yeah, that's exactly what's going through my head watching
And yet
this.
governments and central banks do it all the time. Central banks repress the amount of interest that rates are, so we don't have the real cost of money. And yet we blame the real retail banks for manipulating LIBOR. The sheer effrontery of this is quite astonishing. It's central banks that manipulate interest rates, Commissioner. And plus,
True.
underneath all this, we talk loosely, in a rather cavalier fashion, do we not, about deposit guarantees. So when banks go broke through their own incompetence and chicanery, the taxpayer picks up the tab. It's theft from the taxpayer.
He's right, by the way. You shouldn't have to pay to bail out someone else's mistake, and I'm tired of it. I can make a good example of such an abuse here in South Africa. For example, the Eskom, which is basically our national electricity provider, which has basically been allowed to just regress and degenerate into a husk of what it was once, like the powerhouse of Africa, is now just running on like R1 trillion worth of debt because the government is too incompetent and too greedy to let it run properly. And now that they keep raising the taxes to make us pay for their incompetence to keep the state-owned enterprise of electricity on life support, which is wrong. It's basically theft. It's not our fault they're incompetent, and they won't give it up to the private sector because, well, then they don't get the money.
And until we start sending bankers, and I include central bankers and politicians, to prison for this outrage, it will continue.
But that's just anti-Semitism. By the way, this was 13 years ago. I'm going to assume that nothing happened because nothing ever happens.
Now that you know that, let's continue with the rest of the fucking video, shall we?
I honestly did not even remotely consider that just the topic of using natural gases as a fuel replacement for aircraft would devolve into talking about politics and banking. What a twist.
Number 4, domestic employment for jobs will go up. 15, people will domestically and regionally benefit more and more immediately. 16, profitable self-sufficiency will always be welcome as far as I'm concerned.
Yes. Although the one thing that I did wish that he did have was some statistical data showing just how much natural gas and potential production is available, because I don't actually know those numbers off by hand, so it sounds good on paper, but I would like to know a lot more. If it does like a part 2, I'd be
17
keen to
already
see it.
addressed it. Skipping over. 18, we could grow cattails on the banks of the feedlot solar lakes in mid-transition to making them digester. Biomethane.
All I heard was cattails. Hold on. Let me go back.
Feedlot solar lakes.
Hold on.
18, we could grow cattails on the banks of the
He actually did say cattails. Okay. I wasn't mishearing.
feedlot solar lakes in mid-transition to making them digester. Biomethane digesters. In the banks of whatever wastewater runoff and sewage could be that would be let run off so we can actually gasify, actually extract the sugars to make alcohol with, ethanol with, and then the rest
You can't drink a chat.
of that can be gasified. 19. This is the final benefit. Using clean nuclear power.
I was waiting for the nuclear power. I'm 100% a nuclear power enjoyer, just by the way. The entire Underworld runs on nuclear power.
To provide the electricity to the fuel plants, to the gasification, to the refining of all of the and all that stuff, to all these different things I listed in all of the steps. And the sulfur making plants for get rid of the hydrogen sulfide out that's going to be made from hydrotreating sulfur out of the fuel in question.
Ah, yes, the N-word. Nuclear, yes.
Liquid fuels. Making it as a good for multiple economic
sectors,
multiple business interests and markets, if you will. We'll only make this shit all the more sustainable and all the better. But why ain't this done? I don't know.
Probably greed and incompetence. You know, what's his razor again? Hamlet's razor? Hold on, let's scroll up, see if we can find it. There we go. Hamlet's razor. Maybe there's just some stupidity going on there, who knows. You know what we should do? An experiment. We should let our dear friend Derpy Redneck, we should let him run the energy and gas production of a country and just see what happens in like 10 years. Hammy's razor? Yes.
Fucking politicking, that's why!
I mean, I was pretty much on the nose with greed and corruption and incompetence.
And with that, I bid you adieu. Thanks for watching.
Cheers, buddy! Alright, that was awesome. Do give this guy a follow. I will link his video in the description when this video comes out.